what's up you guys, this is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on Doing It Raw, we are going to be taking a look at the best secondaries that strip or bypass armor. Now, of course, this is a continuation from a series that we've already had, where we covered primary weapons, and we even did an addendum, because you guys were able to find some really cool ones that I had missed. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of a disclaimer. If you guys find any good ones, and I'm talking about like the best ones, I'm not talking about Riven close ones, because the Riven close ones, there's always some wiggle room and we can always argue about a couple things, but really I just want ones that perform as good as the best, so it doesn't turn into this whole, well, this has a strong disposition and this one is kind of good and that one is kind of blended, but if you use this and this, I'm like, no. I want to hear the best of the best if I have missed the best of the best that do not require ribbons. So as you guys already know, we don't use any ribbons in this series, just the mods that you're normally able to acquire without having to kind of rely on RNGesus for rolls for. So with that aside, let's go ahead and start taking a look at the very first one, and I know you guys know this one by heart. This is possibly one of my favorites. This is the current build that I'm using for it. I might actually consider swapping out a couple polarities so that I can get another elemental status mod in there. It's just something I'm considering. It does bring it up to 95% status chance, but I mean, it already works pretty damn well at 84%, so let's go ahead and do that. And I'll show you kind of like how it all works, and as always, we are going to be using this on corrupted bombards, and we're going to slap them up to 145, which is the highest that I can currently get them to. Now this one is just really, it's just easy. There's really nothing much to say about this other than, you know, it's an automatic secondary, and you just kind of go in and you just whittle away with them. I really like the fast fire rate, because that kind of makes quick work, and it's really not too much thought. You just kind of go in, you shoot. Oh my god, Zephyr, you were just floating away like a balloon. Hold on. So you kind of just get in there, and as you guys know, this one has been kind of like my favorites for a long time, and as you can actually see from the build itself, I actually use a Prime Pistol mutation on there, just because of the fact that I basically use this and its ability to kind of like sop up all of that extra ammo leading up to like higher end missions. So this almost becomes like my primary, and that's actually one question that I wanted to put out there before we keep going on. Because I don't necessarily feel like this list is as long as the primaries list that we have. So do you expect secondaries to be able to perform just as well as primaries? Because technically, you know, they are kind of like our second line of offense, thus the secondaries, thus the fact that there are a lot of pistols. To me, I kind of hold them to the same. It's just kind of like weapon 1 and weapon 2, not necessarily primary and secondary. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm really curious about this. Now, this should not be a surprise to anyone who knows me, because this made it as one of the best I think it even made it as one of the best secondaries on my list of 2016. This is just a literal badass. I usually don't keep throwing them, but I mean, just for the fucking sake, like you can see how quickly it stripped off armor and how quickly it just took them down. And I also run, just get down there. I also run an ammo mutation on this as well. I think I forgot to show you guys the build just a second ago, because my brain train is going. You guys know how it goes. But I feel like, and I'm gonna say this, like, I always hold this in much higher regard than I ever did the Pox or the Mutilus Ceranos. It just deals the damage. It's just, personally, I find it superior. I'm sorry, I know some people have feels, but I'm just letting you know kind of like how it is. And that is without anything. That's also with a Prime Pistol ammo mutation. And you're actually going to see a couple weapons in here that I don't put Prime Pistol ammo mutation on, that I should, but we'll talk about those later. But yeah, that's the build. It's very simple, nothing crazy at all. The next one we're going to move on to, another, this one I'm really excited to show you guys. This one is kind of one of those ones that went under the radar for me, and this is the dual toxocyst. I actually revisited it because I actually do have a ribbon for it, so as you can see, it's there. However, I'm going to show you the build without it, and I put it on and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, how the fuck is this as good as it is? I was like, this is a crime. This is a lie. It cannot be as good as it is. So you just grab one of those headshots, right? And then you just start going ape shit. Like, what the fuck is that? And you used, here's the thing, I don't think you used any ammo after that first headshot. What was that? I did not see that one coming at all, you guys. I was like, whoa, how are you this good? We literally used 2 ammo. We used 2 ammo for that. Like, what the fuck? So you just grab your first headshot, and then you just go fucking in, right? You just go in, and you're like, how are you doing this? Oh, I should grab another headshot. But yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. Do not sleep on the dual toxocyst. If you get freaking, let's see its disposition real quick. If you get a Riven for this, it's a strong motherfucking disposition too. Do you see? We're gonna look at it one more time. I know you probably don't need to look at it another time to like understand the power of this. I don't know, what is it about, we're gonna talk about this in another video because I was talking to Mogami about this, but what is it about freaking like infested weapons that are just killing it? Because the infested weapons are doing some magic. Look at that. Boom, boom, right there. Frenzy only lasts like about 5 seconds, right? Frenzy only lasts about 5 seconds. But yeah, that's just so insanely impressive. I was just shocked and appalled. I did not see that one coming. Another one that I actually didn't see coming, and this one is actually a throwback. I was like, holy shit. The Akmagnus is amazing. In fact, let me show you a couple things real quick. So this is not the standard Akmagnus. This is actually a Tenogen skin that's available in the market for Plat. So, you know, if you want to see this is the Hive Light. That is the Hive Light, and I've got the second one. That is the Dakra. So look at this, or Dakila. I call it Dakra because I think it's much prettier than Dakila. Like, really? But Hive Light. Oh wait, no, I need to keep it like that because I have different customizations on it. But that one's got like the sun. If you're of Filipino descent, that actually looks like the sun from the flag. But we'll leave it like that. I kind of like the Hive Light just a little bit better. I love that little gradient effect on it. But yeah. Wait a second. Did I show you guys the dual? Yeah, I did show you guys the dual toxocyst build. Okay, good. I'm not crazy. I had someone message me on Discord, and they're like, you didn't show the Soma Prime build. I'm like, wait, no, I did. And then he was like, no, wait, you did. And I was like, oh thank God. I was like, I nearly thought that I left that out of the video. I was like, how embarrassing. Oh, let's turn on turbulence real quick before I die. Now this one actually requires headshots. Requires a lot of headshots, but the thing about it is I don't actually feel like it has very much of any recoil at all. So it's not super hard. I feel like it like as soon as it gets on that second reload, it really starts hitting hard. Now I will be honest with you, it's a little bit of touch and go sometimes just because of the fact that it does, you know, it does have IPS based damage on it, and it does have to select, you know, between multiple, it does have to select a lot between multiple statuses. I need to refresh this before I die. I was like, oh. But yeah, that thing absolutely shreds. It's got slash damage. It's really good just overall. But it does require headshots a little bit to make it work. Let me run it one more time where I don't have to recast something. Did I actually? Yes, I did spot him. So right there, like it's doing work, and I think that even with a Riven, it'll be even better. The only thing that kind of sucks about this is that it does have a good amount of impact, so it does tend to throw them back a little bit, which makes it hard to continuously land headshots, even though the weapon itself doesn't have any kind of recoil on it. It like if you saw it perform, it did not have any recoil. Now the next one is kind of fun. This one is definitely fun. I did not expect this to perform the way that it performed, but we gonna do this. This is the Vaykor Marelok. This is the build that I've got going for it right now. Very similar to the Akmagnus's build actually. And this has a very similar story. You want to go for headshots. And the thing about this one is it has a rhythm to it, which is kind of fun. It's kind of fun to do. It's like you got to get into the rhythm, so it might take me a minute because... Oh no, I did a jump. I didn't mean to do a jump. That's what happens. So if you guys wonder where those jumps come from, it's actually me gripping my mouse too tight. But that one actually does a pretty good job of taking them down. If I wasn't jumping around, it would have been a little bit quicker, but it's pretty impressive for a 145. That's a 145 enemy, and I just fell. Weird. Did the enemy die too? I think he did. Let's respawn him. Sorry. All right. So you got to get into that rhythm, and once you do, oh my, look at that. One clip and he's already at half health. That feels real good. Plus the thing about the Vaykor Marelok is as it goes up, you know, as one of its effects, it actually has that blast effect. So if you've got a good melee weapon on you too, you can actually open up enemies to finishers. As you know, finisher damage bypasses armor as well. So it's kind of like this chain effect. You can go ahead and snipe down a big target and then go ahead and trigger that effect. So I'm very happy about that. Now, going along, since we're talking about headshots, this is something that I want to point you to. Where is it? You guys know I'm a big fan of this, and I actually swapped out a mod just to kind of fit this into the best part of the series, if I can find it. It's twin. It's not Ak. I labeled it as the Akricatas. It's not the Akricatas. Now, this is the build for this. I feel like it's very similar to the last build too. Just use the same build on everything. No, I'm just kidding. Now, usually I don't actually run Scorch on this, so I'm just giving you guys a heads up. I don't run Scorch on this. I usually run the primed ammo mutation. Where are you? I use pistol ammo mutation. Oh, there you go, prime pistol. I thought for a second I was crazy. I was like, wait, what? No, I use prime pistol ammo mutation on that pretty regularly because of the fact that it blows through ammo real quick. Now, clearly, you can run this if you're running the carrier and you have ammo case, but me, I'm all about the kitties and all of the crazy crit things that they do and all of the crazy armor shredding. Like, shit, this cat can shred armor for you and also get you, like, double resources. So... I'm not as impressed with ammo case as I am with that. But let me go ahead and show you this real quick, because if you are running a Sentinel, this actually does some fucking work. If you look at this, and it CCs them pretty damn good too. So I mean that's pretty fucking strong. Originally, what was I gonna say? Originally, this was gonna be like in the Riven close territory because I do have a Riven for it that makes it excellent. The only thing that I am gonna say is, with that Riven, I am able to use this with primed ammo mutation on. So I still use primed ammo mutation. Like, oh, look at it. It just eats away at them. It's so good. It's so good. So. That's my kind of like shoot back. And if you notice too, what I'm kind of really liking is there's a lot of diversity within the weapons that we've been able to choose for armor stripping, right? So in the last series we had bows, we have thrown weapons in this one, we also have some semi-automatics and some automatics. Now the next one, of course, is going to be one of my favorites. This one, I'll be honest, I felt like it was on the cusp of being Riven, you know, being Riven close, but I feel like it still performs damn well. Let me go ahead and show you the build on that one. This one's a little bit different, and if you notice, I put lethal momentum on there as well. So you don't necessarily, if you want more oomph, you can go ahead and swap that out, but I personally like it the way that it is. But this does some hurts. The only thing that you have to remember with this is the fact that you are going to have to click it. You can't charge it up. You have to click it really fast so that you apply statuses repeatedly. And the cool thing about it is, oh my god, it's like a balloon. Let's look at it real quick again. You can see there's only 3 elements on there. There's not very much competing for the armor triggers, for the corrosive triggers. I'm sorry. So it's nice, you know. You're not worried about IPS, and like when the corrosive triggers go off, you can see that shit's just vicious. It's absolutely vicious. So the Staticor definitely makes my list. It's very, very, very interesting, and I like it a lot. Now the next, I want to say the next 2 weapons I'm going to show you, I'm kind of like, does that work? Can I call this good? This is like in the gray area between it works, like it's good, and it's Riven close. So, you know, I would say that, you know, Riven will make these exponentially better than they currently are already. Let's show you the Asma. So this is the build. I know all of the polarities are fucked up, but somebody had mentioned it in the comments and I wanted to test it. And the way to get it to shred armor, of course, is to really pump up its status. And I was playing around with some other shit, so clearly, like, there's a spot open for us. This could be even better, a little bit better, could be somewhat better. But this is just what I'm kind of like feeding you guys right now, and I want to show you kind of like how it plays out just in this current state. And you can kind of decide where you feel on the fence this thing sits. Because I feel like some of the weapons that we've seen are like definitely super powerful. This takes a little bit of time to ramp up, and honestly, because of the fact that it has IPS and it requires, you know, another elemental mod on it, it does feel like it struggles just a little bit. I believe that this is also a weapon that I use primed pistol ammo mutation. Am I getting that order right? I don't know. But yeah, you decide about how you feel about this. Let's get a little bit closer to. Let's just see, because it's really a roll of the dice when you. Oh, let's do this. I'm like paranoid. But the fire damage that gets in there as well is nice because of the fact that it helps CC them. However, I don't necessarily want to stand in one spot. Like, if this were like a real gameplay scenario, like, I felt like I was standing in the same spot for a little too long. So you guys decide whether you feel that is Riven close or whether that is actually like feasible if I were to able to mod that up all the way. That's your feels. That's your feels right there. Now I'm about to click on this weapon. Really like this weapon. I have a Riven for this weapon. We will not be using that in the build today, but I also kind of remembered that I did not customize this for this look at all today. Oh, but I have one! No, that's the mag one. Ah, shit. No, I got nothing. The fashion frame is weak on this one, but let's go ahead. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Can we do this real quick? No. Let's, what is this? What is this one? No? What is this one? Am I clicking the exact same thing over and over? I am probably clicking the exact same thing over and over. I'm gonna drive you guys crazy, so we're just gonna skip that, but let's go ahead and show you the build. Okay, so this is without the Riven. Notice it's also got the embedded catalyzer on it. I was gonna put another element on it, but I didn't want to mess up. I just wanted to have 2 elements on there. I just wanted to push 2 elements on there, and the embedded catalyzer gets it a little bit further. So let's do this, and I'm gonna go up here. And this is kind of why I don't really like the embedded catalyzers, because they require you to use an ability, and I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about it. Let's. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Hold on. Well, I just fucked this one up royally. Come on. And at least you can see right there what the issue with embedded catalyzer is that you need to use an ability. Originally, I was testing this out with Volt, so it wasn't as difficult. It wasn't as difficult, and I did not think it through when I was testing out with Zephyr. But at least you get to see live why I'm not necessarily the biggest fans of the embedded catalyzer mod, right? Yeah, I mean, I literally, did I even, yeah, I did. Okay, good. And it's while you're aiming, so remember, you gotta use it while you're aiming. Oh, I'm like trying to make this mod work. We're just not gonna use that. There you go. Let me go ahead and actually swap this out and put in a fire mod instead of that embedded catalyzer, and let's see if it performs a little bit better, because I feel like that embedded catalyzer was making it a bit hard to use. With certain Warframes, it's okay. Clearly with Zephyr, it was not having it, so you kind of just gotta roll with that punch and just be like, all right, I get it. It's not gonna work that way. But let's go ahead and toss in Scorch, and you get to see it play tested live. So now we have a third element to kind of like compete with and everything, but we don't have to use an ability to trigger the status chance. We can just kind of go in there. We can just kind of go in and strip that armor. Oh, this was easier with Bolt. But yeah, as you can see, it's doing a pretty good job shredding that armor, and because of the fact that it has a fast reload, I definitely want to say this sits more on along the lines of Riven Close. Sits along the lines of Riven Close. Let's try that one more time just to prove that it's not absolutely horrible. Because I felt like there was a little bit of outside interference there. Okay, we're just gonna say that one's Riven Close and we're gonna move on with it. No, I'm being stubborn. How much have I shown you this? Oh, Jesus. One more time. One more time. Oh, all the best late. So stupid. Alright. I swear to God. I swear to God, this is not terrible. Let's go. You guys are like looking at me like, Rob, just stop. Just stop. Clearly the universe is not okay. It does not want you to show us this weapon. Oh my God, just stop. Just fucking fuck yourself. Come on, just fuck yourself. There you go. Come on, we're making waves now. There you go. Ugh. Ugh. So, Maradetron, okay. Riven Close. We won't call that all the way. Get some multi-shot, get some status on that. It'll feel a little bit better. Maybe not the best synergy with Zephyr. Now the next one that I'm going to show you is definitely a little bit better, which is the Hiku Prime. Now this is another one that I have not modded all the way. Oh, I have modded it all the way. Well, look at that. I lied. So that's the build for that. And this one takes a little bit more work, I guess I'm going to say. This one definitely needs a Riven to kind of like pump itself up a bit. I can't put my finger on it, but it just feels like it's missing something. I was like, are you missing status chance? Are you missing damage? What are you missing? It's still doing work. Went a lot smoother than the Tetron one that I just showed you. But you can tell just with a little extra oomph from a Riven, it would do so well. Let's take a look at that one more time. And I only have 9 seconds to show you that it's working. I only have like less than a second. Allow the status procs. Yes! I didn't have to refresh Turbulence. But yeah, so it takes a little bit of time, and I feel like with the right Riven, which I can't really put my finger on, I'm gonna guess multi-shot and status, but I feel like a little bit of damage could have helped there too. The next one on the list, now these two suffer the same fates that I felt about the Torrid and the Mutalist. The Mutalist, what is it called? The Mutalist, oh my God. The Mutalist Cernos. Like, I feel like this one can shred the armor pretty damn well, but on its own, it doesn't have enough oomph. It needs a little extra something. So this next one is definitely a Riven Close one. It is one mod short. I don't know why, but it is. I think it's maybe because I was kind of like working on getting my Riven in there. But you can see, you'll actually see it live in action. It needs something along the lines of like base damage. It needs base damage. That's really what it needs. That's all it could really use. Multi-shot, if we're gonna put multi-shot on it, it is specifically for damage. But as you can see here, the armor's gone. The armor's gone, but we haven't even hit half health. And that's the big issue with it, is it just takes so long to kill an enemy. It takes so long to kill an enemy, even if like we're specifically going for headshots, it can strip the armor real quick. So this is one of those weapons that I would almost suggest that you could try out too, using as a secondary and then using a melee with a really good strong slide attack. You could definitely do that as a thing. However, like on its own, it just doesn't have enough like stopping power to really kind of, you know, put the hurt on. It's like you can shred the armor. It's a good support weapon. Look at that. We haven't even got, like I said, again, we didn't even get in halfway. We didn't even get halfway on the enemy before the armor was gone, and that's usually the opposite for a lot of weapons. Is usually they'll end up killing the enemy before they're even managed to strip it. So that's that. The Tysis is really great for removing, stripping them down, as we would say. And the last one on the list is the Akstiletto Prime. Now, I do have a ribbon for that, and that is mainly why you see targeting subsystem on there, is because, you know, number one, its accuracy is shit at 3.7. That's gotta be like one of the worst accuracies in game. So I'm making space for it, but this kind of shares that same, the same theory as you do with a shotgun. It's basically a shotgun secondary, and, you know, all of the pellets kind of do magic work and whatnot. But it's actually got some good CC effects on it too. It just knocks him down. And we're back at it. Hold on. Knocks him down. And again, very similar to the Tysis, it gets rid of the armor before it even hits half health. And that's the big issue, is this thing doesn't have the damage to really follow through on it, but it does have the status and armor shredding potential. So again, you can use this on its own, or you could pair this up with a slide weapon if you want. That's totally a thing that you can do, or you can get a ribbon for it. I'll probably do a ribbon reroll for it after this. I know you guys are not the biggest fan of that series, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta be able to follow your strippage up with a little bit of damage, right? So for that, I would probably like just cross my fingers for a little bit of multi-shot, because I don't really want to have to use Blast. I'll be honest, Blast tends to actually hurt more than it helps, because of the fact that armored targets, I think, take reduced damage from Blast. It might just be ferrite armor, but I know one of the armor types is not very friendly with Blast. So that pretty much does it for these. If there are any that you feel that I have missed, please feel free to let me know. And when I say any that I might have missed, I mean any, like, good ones. Good ones you don't need ribbons for, just really good ones. Now, I mean, if you want to talk about, like, all of this one, well, this one would be good with ribbons, that would be good with ribbons, doesn't really help push the narrative, because that's kind of subjective, and you never know what kind of ribbon you're going to get for it. But, that's kind of my list. So, Akstiletto Prime, Pox, Dual Toxocyst, Akmagnus, Vaykor Heck, Twin Gricata, Staticor, those ones are like the for sures. And then we had a couple maybes on the Asma. I swear to God, the Maradetron is not bad. It just does not pair well with Turbulence and how that was working. And then, you know, we had the Hiku Prime and the Tysis and the Akstiletto Prime. So if there's anything that falls within the, like, really good range, let me know and I'll go ahead and test it out, and maybe I'll include it in a future video, or I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it somewhere else. Maybe I'll pin it in the comments or something, but it's gotta be at least as good as, like, the Akstiletto, the Pox, the Dual Toxocyst, and the Akmagnus. Alright, and that pretty much does it for the secondaries. I don't know, here's the thing. When we go on to melees, when we move on to melee weapons, there's a lot of melee weapons, and we don't know when ribbons are going to come out for them, or like how ribbons are even going to look. And since, I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of melee builds that are super, super tight. They're like tight like my butthole tight. Like, they are tight, so I wouldn't even know where to fit in some of those ribbons, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that mess when you do it. So, as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch yo body. I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.